Good morning, everybody. It's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And this morning, it is actually warm in the greenhouse. According to the thermometer here, it is 83 degrees, which is probably the warmest it's been in here in well over a month. Anyway, I need to catch up with things. I have been behind a little bit because we've had some really awful weather, very cold, very obnoxious. If it sounds like it's raining in here this morning, it kind of is. The condensation is falling off the roof in here. So every once in a while there's drips. Jack's sort of hiding down here because it's not raining as much down there as it is over here. Part of that is just from the condensation off of the plants, and part of it is from the propane heater that we use sometimes in the night. So what I need to do is I need to do a super quick tour, show you guys where my radishes are, and get a few other things planted because I'm a little behind on some stuff. First, I'm going to get started with the radishes. This is the way we wrap up our radishes at night. I've got radishes, beets, and the edge of a couple of other pots under here. So let me show you what we got going on. This is just a piece of old greenhouse plastic that Henry's mom gave us probably 10 years ago. And I still have some little bits and pieces of it that occasionally get drafted to be something. Nothing fancy. As you can see, I have these hoops that are actually designed for supporting low tunnels in a garden, and I've just got them stuck into the tops of the pots. These are binder clips from your office. They work great because I'm not dealing with high winds or anything here. All I am is just wanting to keep this kind of under control. So let me give you a close-up on the radishes, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. So here we go. These are the radishes. Post what the original date was that these were planted and see if we can find a picture of this. I know I've got pictures where this was just totally 100% full. As you can see, there's not a big crop of radishes right now. Well, I shouldn't put it that way. There's not a bunch that are ready to use right now. These I'll probably pick in the next couple of days. What I had done before, and I think I shared it with you guys, was I came in and I planted in the areas that had already been eaten by my husband, not by some strange creature from outer space. I'm going to replant yet again, just in some of these bare spaces. Now, if you look, you can see here's where some of the original ones were planted, over here, and these are the new guys that are coming in. We now have more empty spaces in here, and I can plant pretty tight in a couple of these spots, and that will let me add in more so that there'll be radishes coming behind these guys, because these guys won't be ready for, well, it depends a lot on the weather. Our weather has been so cold that even the radishes are growing slowly. I'll give these guys some liquid 20-20-20. They should kick in pretty well. Meanwhile, let's plant those other radishes. Now, if you guys remember, I had two different kinds of radishes in here. This section over here was Sora, and this section over here was Crunchy. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It was an experiment to see if my husband could tell the difference. He can. He likes the Sora for everyday consumption, and the Crunchy for, was it the other way around? Anyway, he likes one for everyday consumption, and he likes the other one for an occasional bit of spice. So all I'm going to do is, these are Crunchy seeds. These are supposed to be planted about a ½ inch deep. I'm going to make a couple of holes that are about a ½ inch deep. I'm not going to worry about getting them super tight. They say they can be planted as closely as an inch. I like them a little bit bigger apart than that. But I'm just going to go through this whole area here, and any place I see some empty spots, I'm going to put it and make a hole that's about a ½ inch deep, put a seed in, and cover it back up. Now I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any areas, because these good guys are going to be gone pretty quickly. So that means I could get in here a little bit tighter than I might normally do, because my goal this winter was to have fresh radishes for Henry all winter. Now, I made it mostly. We have had so far just an extraordinarily cold winter. And that means everything's been growing more slowly than usual, even covered up, even in the greenhouse. I haven't quite managed to keep a totally steady stock of radishes on hand, but I've done pretty well. I just want to make sure I do as well as I can heading into the spring, because he really does like these things. He always gets a big grin on his face when I bring him another batch of radishes from the greenhouse. And this is not brain surgery. A hole, ½ inch deep, throw a seed in, cover it up, make sure it stays damp. Okay. I give him some liquid 20-20-20 every once in a while. That's about it. These soil in here was pretty good to start with, but I want to make sure it hasn't been depleted, so I hit them with a little of that 20-20-20 every once in a while. You can get 20-20-20 from Haas Tools, from lots of sources. My understanding is Miracle Grow is also 20-20-20. Now I know that's not organic, but they are making an organic version these days. I haven't read the details on it yet. It's certainly possible. So anyway, I just sort of filled in here with a bunch of crunchy. And one of the things I've learned is not to try and grow radishes right up on this edge where the soil tends to curl up. It dries out a little bit too easily, and it's hard to get good germination. That was that's one of the reasons that some of these radishes germinated later than others, is because they got a little too dry. Yeah, so I just planted a whole stack of crunchies, and what I'll probably do is I'll wait till these last big ones are pulled, and then I'll put in some soras. Anyway, that's all I had to do here this morning. I trip over things. Okay. Anyway, so